Alright everyone, we've reached the point where I'm going to try to help you increase your value at your company using artificial intelligence without having to talk to your boss. Yes, this is the level we've reached. In this video, I'm going to try to help you with your job, how to gain more value in it, and as you are perceived as more valuable within your company by your boss, your supervisor, or whoever is above you, they will notice, and therefore it serves as a countermeasure. The more value you offer, the greater your reward will be. I have designed a set of winning strategies so that you leave this video with everything clear about what you need to do. So don't lose track, follow step by step what we're going to talk about here because none of it is wasted. So plant your fat ass in the chair. Alright, thanks for letting me eat too. Let's get started because the first thing we need to do is identify the valuable skills you have. Second, find your skill gaps. Third, a plan to develop those skills in less than 90 days. With all of this together, we're going to try to make ourselves irreplaceable, both as people and against AI. We're going to create our own board of mentors and, just as importantly, a professional protection strategy. What does that mean? Well, it means that if we get fired, we have a plan B, though of course the plan is to try to avoid getting fired in the first place. So the first thing we're going to do is get involved with some AI. That I really don't mind. Alright, you have to do everything with me. Everything I'm going to tell you will be written in the comments so you can replicate it and do it yourself on your computer after you finish this video, because I don't know exactly what you do for a living. I'm going to give an example case, but I've designed it in such a way that you can use your own specific case and add a lot of value to whatever you're doing, no matter what it is. So, first of all, we're going to go to an AI chat. It could be a super agent. You can do it from ChatGPT or wherever you want. From here, I can select different AIs where we can do this, and we could even combine them. But anyway, in this case, I'm going to do it with Claude Opus 4.6, but I'm telling you that you can do it with the ChatGPT chat, which is completely free. No problem. Let's move on to prompt number 1, which is identifying valuable skills. Here's the prompt. As I said, all the prompts will be down in the description, and here you need to personalize each one of them. For example, I'm going to make up a position and say that I'm an administrative assistant, since that's a job that's really at risk because of AI. Let's see if with my prompts we can protect ourselves in this case. So I'm an administrative assistant. In which industry? Well, for example, let's say I'm an administrative assistant at Facebook. Just making something up, okay? Alright, let's get to it. I've put myself in a tough spot, administrative assistant at Facebook. Everything could go wrong since automation in companies like that is increasing every day. So your company is probably smaller, which makes it easier to stand out. I've chosen the most difficult example so that for you it's a bit more enjoyable. Well, first, it gives us a strategic context. In short, we're screwed simply because AI automates many of the processes that an administrative assistant does in their daily routine. The impact is huge. Future demand and speed of development. These are the issues raised for us in our first prompt. Let's look at 10 skills that it gives us and suggests we learn so that 1, we can get a higher salary, and 2, become irreplaceable. And what does that mean? It means having more value within the company and also being able to move up in our position. Number 1, strategic mastery of AI and process automation. In a time frame of 1 to 3 months, I should be mastering this area with a maximum star impact. Like the stars in GTA, future demand also at the highest level. And these are immediate actions I need to take. For example, identify the 5 most repetitive tasks and automate them within a week. What does that mean? Well, maybe with OpenCloud or with an agent, that could do it for me, that could help me with support or assist me with my most repetitive tasks, like for example, entering clients into Excel, sending emails to certain clients, which in the end, you can just prompt a generic email if that's the case. Of course, here I'm just speaking off the cuff. But anyway, all the things that could be done: advanced stakeholder management and executive communication. Another thing we would need to improve, but that's because at Meta, it's a matrix culture. Then we would have project management with agile methodologies, organizational political intelligence, data intelligence, and strategic information management. I'm reading things that honestly I don't even know what they mean, just between you and me, but I'm telling you here. You don't need to learn absolutely every single skill that would make you insanely pro, but if you start automating and gradually integrating 1 or 2 into your job without anyone asking you to, maybe 1 a month or 1 every 2 months, or the easiest ones, maybe 1 in a week or immediately right away, they're really going to help you a lot to be more qualified in your job in case you want, as I said, to increase your value there. In this case, they give us 10 types and above all, a strategic plan and immediate next steps. And remember, at Meta, the admin who thinks like an executive but executes like an elite operator is never at risk. And here comes our second prompt. Once we've identified the first one, what we can do and how to identify valuable skills within my company and my position, now we're going to find my skills gap. Once again, I personalize it. I work at Facebook, I have an administrative entry-level position, okay? Answering calls, putting a few things into Excel, taking calls, processing orders, whatever. And my goal is to become the director of business administration, mainly administration, basically, of all those employees. So now let's move on with this. Let's go back and focus more on this second prompt, where it gives us some very important advice. And the thing is, they've eliminated more than 20,000 positions at Facebook since 2022. So right now, my company wants to fire me or is about to fire me. And precisely the position I want to reach, Director of Administration at Meta, looks complicated because you have to be the leader of 15 to 30 people. And for that, I need knowledge that, as I mentioned in the prompt, I have absolutely no idea about. So here it's listing the skill categories for me, like immediate survival gaps, things I need to start working on right now, such as critical risk, mastery of AI and process automation, something that was explained to us earlier, documented strategic thinking, then visibility, national organization, and social capital. Here it tells you absolutely everything. Category 2, skills gap for promotion in 1 to 3 years, people leadership and team management. Well, it's not a small number of things I've asked for because I'd like, well, to earn a bit more as an administrator on Facebook. But you come to the realization that each of these individual prompts, the first and the second, provide us with every single piece of information we need, not only to advance our position significantly, but to gain much more value in the process. And now, before we start with prompt 3 up to prompt 7, I want you to tell me in the comments below what you do for a living and if these 7 prompts, which you have down here in the comment box, have been useful to you. Pinned, I'm going to leave it there. And we move on to prompt number 3, because here we have a lot of information, but we need to put it into action. How are we going to put it into action? Well, what we need is design a 90-day plan to master the skill, which we'll specify in a moment while working full-time. Include the best resources, daily creation time, weekly goals, and a clear way to show my progress to my boss or company. By the way, I've run the prompt, and instead of doing it with Opus 4.6, I'm using a mix of different AIs. Sometimes the result turns out much better, and depending on the platform, you might even get it for free, since the other one uses up points like crazy, honestly. Well, working at Meta seems to be tougher than I thought, since here they're constantly letting people go, and in the end, you live in an environment where efficiency is survival. So we'll have to be twice as efficient, but that's exactly why we're here today. So this prompt is going to give us a work structure, where survival and immediate credibility are key, from day 1 to day 30. And that's how we'll be evolving week by week with everything, so to speak, a roadmap from quarter 1 to quarter 5, for example, which would cover these 3 months during which we'll acquire all the necessary skills. Of course, right now you see a lot of text here, but when it's talking about you, your business, and scalability within your business and your company, with your boss, with your name, your girlfriend's name, and everyone else's. And here we go with prompt number 4, which is give me a 30-day plan to increase my visible value to my boss and my team. Includes specific initiatives and ways to solve problems that no one else is addressing. Here, we're not just talking about the 90-day plan, but also a 30-day plan, in addition to the one we already have, which consists of actions we need to take immediately, because in the company we're in, we need X or the company needs X, and that's not being addressed. Well, for example, how could you save unproductive hours? For instance, as we mentioned, by automating daily processes such as collecting customer data. Alright, here you will find a lot of valuable information in this section of the prompt because, well, it won't be easy to become irreplaceable, and for that, you'll need to do a thorough study of everything that is public about your company, okay? In this case, since Facebook has so many public things, of course, it's going to give me a ton of information and tell me about all the gaps where they're failing, and here as the administrator, I can use this to generate more sales, achieve better efficiency within the company, improve revenue, reduce costs, basically anything that adds up and helps me personally in my current position so I can move up to the role I want to reach. And with that, we come to prompt number 5, which is to identify the most resilient skills that artificial intelligence currently has in relation to my position. What does that mean? Well, it means the skills that can make me stand out, the ones that AI will have a harder time replacing me for. In that sense, these would be skills or knowledge that I possess which AI will find difficult to automate, so to speak, in order to get me fired from my job, or rather, to help me avoid that at all costs. Alright, and here we have, in a very simple way, 3 critical skills that AI cannot replace, at least for now, and that we should implement ourselves. For example, political intelligence, national organization, and managing relationships of deep trust, since in the end, interacting person to person is not the same as interacting robot to person. Well, robot, you know what I mean, or an artificial intelligence chat, facilitating difficult conversations. Well, here there are countless additional skills that I could use as a foundation, which I need to perfect, and all of them are part of the roadmap. And that brings us to point number 6. Create a council of mentors. And it's very important that when you launch this prompt, you always do everything in the same chat, because it stays in sync with all the other prompts. That means that in the end, when we finish the last one, there's only one left. You'll be able to extract everything together, and it will always follow right after the previous one. So it will be much easier for you and much more concise when it comes to giving you the information, whether that's ChatGPT in this case or the mix of AI agents I currently have set up. And what you're going to do once you've gathered the 7 prompts is take a PDF and put everything in there. And with the mentor mode, we're going to look for different people at our own pace, in our own way, within the company's organizational chart. If the company is smaller, then the number of mentors will be reduced. And why are these mentors important? Because we're going to send them a direct message. So we're going to get in touch with them, tell them who we are within the company's organizational chart, what we want to do, what we're currently doing, and make sure our name starts to get around. Something very important and relevant throughout this whole process is that our name keeps coming up. And once we have all the mentors, all those executive people who are above our rank and whom we've contacted, we move on to the final prompt of all, which is analyze my situation with the position, the title we're at, the industry, in this case Facebook, the experiences, the years I've been here, the skills that we've already prompted here and that we've said we don't know yet, but that we want to learn. Identify my greatest vulnerability if I were to lose my job tomorrow, and build a professional protection plan that covers skills, network, and income. I think this last prompt, honestly, is the most important of all because it's the one that covers your ass for the future. Alright, here we'll have all the precise information from all the damn work, from the whole damn video, from all the damn prompts, okay? I want you to take all of this, really absorb it, and come back to me in 3 months, 2 months, a week, a damn year, whenever you come back. But do come back and write to me about how it went for you. I have a lot of faith in these prompts because I truly believe they work. Otherwise, I wouldn't bring them to the channel. Turn all of this into a damn PDF and copy it from top to bottom. I truly believe that, without a doubt, this is the best strategy plan anyone could give you right now, no matter what situation you're in. And with that, my friends, I'll say goodbye here. I'm expecting your damn like. Yes, I'm asking for it now, almost 20 minutes into the video, but it's a good time if you've made it this far. See you in the next video. I'm Dota. Bye bye.